We waited in the car outside the bar, my sister and I, for just a couple of drinks as we had heard it so many times before, like all Indian kids have heard before from their parents, disappeared into the smoke and laughter of our reservation tavern, emerging every half hour with soda pop, potato chips, and more promises. And like all Indians have learned, we never did trust those promises. We knew to believe something when it happened, learned to trust the source of a river and never its mouth. But this is not about sadness. This is about the stories, imagined beneath the sleeping bags between starts to warm up the car because my parents trusted me with the keys. This is about the stories. I told my sister to fill those long hours waiting outside the bar, waiting for my mother, my father to knock on the window asking, "Are you warm enough? Are you doing all right? We'll be out soon, okay?" Sometimes we refused to open the locked door for our parents, left them to gesture wildly and make all of us laugh because there was nothing else left to do. But this is not about sadness. This is about the stories I created, how I built landscapes and imaginary saviors. Once I dreamt a red-headed woman, gave her name and weight, and told my sister she would rescue us from our own love. For this mother and father who staggered from the bar, always 5 minutes before closing so they could tell us later, at least we left before last call. But we did love them, held tightly to their alcoholic necks and arms as we drove back home, stole the six-pack they bought for the road and threw it out the window, counted mile markers and coyotes standing on the edge of the road. But this is not about sadness. This is about the stories, those rough drafts that thundered the walls of the hut house as my sister and I lay awake after we finally arrived home and listened to my mother and father dream, breathe deep in their sleep and snore like what you might want me to call drums. But in the reservation dark, it meant we were all alive, and that was enough.